guys, it's MamaBeeASMR here, and we're going to be learning some facts of 4th of July. And so let's get into it. So our first fact of the day is 3 U.S. presidents and founding fathers died on 4th of July. John Adams, Thomas Jefferson, and James Monroe. John Adams and Thomas Jefferson both died on July 4th of 1826 within just 5 hours of each other. Oh wow. 5 years later, James Monroe passed away on the same date in 1831. How freaky is that? What might you not know about July 4th? Fact number 2. Americans typically eat 150 million hot dogs on Independence Day, enough to stretch from DC to LA more than 5 times, according to the National Hot Dog and Sausage Council. 3 presidents have died. Oh, I've already read that one. Let's see. Fun fact number 3. In 1941, it became a paid federal holiday for a federal employee, according to Parade. So, 4th of July became a parade that day. Fun fact number 4. Massachusetts became the first state to make the 4th of July an official state holiday in 1781. Fact number 5. President Zachary Taylor died in 1850 after eating spoiled fruit at a July 4th celebration. There's a lot of deaths on July 4th, that's crazy. Fact number 6. In 1778, George Washington gave his soldiers a double ration of rum to celebrate the July 4th holiday. Well, that's nice. Fun fact number 7. The famed Marcy's fireworks show in New York uses more than 75,000 firework shells and cost about $6 million. Wow. Let's go back and try to find some more. Fun fact number 8. We didn't actually declare independence on 4th of July. One of the greatest misconceptions of the 4th of July lies in the name and date. It is widely believed that America declared their independence from Britain on July 4th, 1776. However, the official vote actually took place 2 days before, and the declaration was published in papers on July 4th. So it was Rutledge of South Carolina were only 26. However, Benjamin Franklin of Pennsylvania was the oldest signer at 70 years old. Oh Jesus, he looks in all of his pictures, he looks really young. In all of his paintings, he looks really young to be 70 years old, just saying. The Declaration of Independence was written on a laptop. Okay, not a modern laptop, but still, Thomas Jefferson drafted the Declaration of Independence on a writing desk that could fit over one's lap. This device was referred to at the time as a laptop. Because you put it on your lap. It's on top of your lap. Sorry, I had to get a drink. Men love fireworks. Number one, $1 billion worth. According to the American Pyrotechnics Association, Americans spend more than $1 billion on fireworks each year. Out of this, only 10% of firework displays are set off professionally, which probably accounts for the esteemed 12,900 firework-related emergency room visits across the country. According to Fortune magazine, of those injuries occurred between June and July, almost 70% were experienced by men. See, ladies, we're smarter than men, because apparently we can, we're staying more alive than men do. They're literally like 70% of men. It doesn't even say how many women. It's more men than women. We just don't touch them. We just watch the men do crazy stuff. So yeah. Bottoms up with 2 times the rum. Oh, we already read that. That's about when George Washington gave double the ration of rum to his American soldiers. Fireworks equal an American tradition dating back to 1777. Fireworks date back as a tradition of Independence Day as early as the first anniversary in 1777. John Adams wrote in a letter to his wife Abigail that he wanted Independence Day to be celebrated with pomp parade shows and illuminations. This original letter was written when Adams presumed that Independence Day would be celebrated on July 2nd. See, I told ya, we're supposed to have our independence on July 2nd, not July 4th, but they didn't finish signing it till July 4th, so they took forever to sign. Okay, another fun fact. A much smaller start. Although official national census was not completed until 1790, the U.S. Census Bureau estimates that there were only about 2.5 million people living in America in 1776. When the Declaration of Independence was signed as of 2017, it was grown to become home to 325.7 million people. Wearing Old Glory violates the U.S. flag code. How many of you own a flag t-shirt, beach towel, shorts, headband, or any other item that is representative of the U.S. flag? Turns out that you're in violation of the U.S. flag code. Oh no. Really? The U.S. flag code states that you are in violation if you sell or display any article of merchandise upon which shall have been printed, painted, attached, or otherwise placed a representation of the flag in order to advertise, call attention to, decorate, mark, or distinguish the article or substance on which so sponsored by any means. Okay, let's find some more fun facts. Apparently, the Declaration of Independence wasn't signed on July 4th or in July at all. It might make for an iconic painting, but that famous image of all the founding fathers and Continental Congress huddled together presenting the first draft of the Declaration of Independence for July 4th, 1776. Signing that isn't quite how things really went down, as famed historian David McCall, I'm going to botch his last name, McCuller, I think that's how you say it, wrote, no such scene with all the delegates present ever occurred in Philadelphia. It's now generally accepted that the Declaration of Independence wasn't signed on the 4th of July. That's just the day the document was formally dated, finalized, and adopted by the Continental Congress, which had officially voted for independence on July 2nd, the day John Adams thought we should celebrate. John Hancock and Charles Thompson signed early printed copies of the Declaration to be given to military officers and various political committees, but the bulk of the other 54 men signed an official engrossed, finalized, and in large print copy on August 2nd, with others following at a later date. Hancock boldly signed his name again on the updated version. On the first 4th of July, celebrations weren't much different from today's. After years of pent-up frustration, the colonies let loose upon hearing the word of the Declaration of Independence in 1776. Military personnel and civilians in the Bowling Green section of Manhattan tore down a statue of King George III and later melted it into bullets. celebration is held in Bristol, Rhode Island. 85 years before the government recognized 4th of July as a federal holiday, one tradition began that continues to this day. Billed as America's oldest 4th of July celebration, the town of Bristol, Rhode Island, has been doing Independence Day right since 1785. Oh wow. The festivities began just 2 years after the Revolutionary War ended, and 2021 would be his 236th anniversary. Over the years, the whole thing has expanded well beyond July 4th. The town of 23,000 residents now begins to celebrate the United States on Flag Day, June 14th, all the way through to the 2.5-mile July 4th parade. What began as a patriotic exercise, meaning church services, has morphed into a cavalcade of parades, live music, food, and other activities. The shortest 4th of July parade is in Aptos, California. The 4th of July parade in Aptos, California is just a hair over half a mile long, taking up 2 city blocks and measuring just 1.6 miles. Or not 1.6, 0.6 miles. This brief bit of patriotism features antique cars, decorated trucks, and plenty of walkers. Afterward, there's a party in the park where folks can enjoy live music, food, and games. I hope they did that this year. There are around 15,000 Independence Day fireworks celebrations every year, according to a 2017 American Pyrotechnics Association projection. Around 15,000 fireworks displays occurs for the 4th of July holiday, even if some aren't exactly on July 4th, though pricing varies. Most small towns spend anywhere from $8,000 to $15,000 for a fireworks display, with larger cities going into the millions, like the Boston Pops fireworks in particular, that averages more than $2 million. Jesus Christ, that is a lot. Americans eat an obscene amount on hot dogs. Okay, this gives more information about the hot dog thing. Americans consume about 150 million hot dogs. Americans consume about 150 million hot dogs while celebrating Independence Day, according to the National Hot Dog and Sausage Council. That amount of dogs can stretch from Washington, D.C. to Los Angeles more than 5 times. In 2018, Joey Chestnut scarfed down 74 of those franks, breaking his own world record. This year, Chestnut won the annual